Welcome back to Crazy Bill's Garage. And right here, I have the carburetor off of that 1992 Johnson 6 horse. And not a bad carburetor. It's pretty clean on the outside, actually. I think it's a remake or a rebuild. I don't think this was the original carburetor that came on it. We've got different numbers here. But who knows? Maybe it is the original. I just don't think it is. I think this is a remanufactured one. Pretty clean, it seems. But how clean is it going to be inside? And that's what we're going to look at. You look at these screws. Not one of these screws look like they've ever been out. So, that's something. There's that needle that goes in to the spot right here. It's pretty clean too. Well, this gasket feels nice. Like I said, I think this thing is, they bought a new carburetor or something for it. And that's just my guess. Yeah. Screwdriver not going to fit. That screwdriver is not going to fit. I need a different one. All right, with the right size screwdriver, I think we got her. These aren't very tight, I gotta say. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this has been a part. It just doesn't feel like. Yeah, these are pretty loose. So, I don't know, factory setting? Even this one here doesn't feel like, oh, maybe, yeah, it's kind of chewed up a little. But that's where the fuel goes in. Wow, this was bad. That fuel line, very old. I got a new fuel line. We're just going to check this out right now to see if it is dirty. I'm kind of hoping it's not. So maybe I should have tried to start it without doing this much work. Nah, I would have just did it anyways. Plan on using that motor in a couple of months. Go up on my big fishing trip. Of course, I am going to go fishing in a couple of weeks to a place. It's a nice place. Let's say it's a walk-in place. And it's got falls and everything. Yeah, well, we're going to check it out, me and the wife. It is a fair distance to walk in. Things I don't like. But I'm going to do it anyways. Let's just say the wife's in better shape than me, so she can walk a lot more. She always walks a lot more than me. There we go. 5 screws. Wow. He's got the cork. Now I am going to order a new, probably a new kit for this. I don't like the cork. Maybe this is original. Take a look down here. Pretty clean. Really. Pretty clean. And here, let me see. This will come off easy. That's nice. Not bad so far. Okay, do I got... I must have needle nose around here. I always do. There they are. Needle nosers. There we go. How's the needle? Looks pretty good. Wow. This. There we go. Now, can I get this out? Yes. Yes, I can. Well, everything seems pretty darn clean by now. Or still. I don't even know if anybody's ever been in here. Oh, that one's a little tighter. I gotta get this thing directly centered here. I don't want to bend her. There we go. Mm-hmm. Open this up. Okay. I don't have a little pick here. So I wanted to get that little washer out here. Let me take a closer look. So right up in there, up in this corner here, you might be able to see it if I get the light right. There's those little holes in the top of this here. You can get to them usually through here. And if those are plugged up, let me get my mic on. If those holes are plugged up, this thing won't idle well. So I don't have a kit yet. So I'm not going to punch out this. Usually all I do is drill a little hole in it, put a little screw in it, and pull her out. That's what I usually do with those. Relatively, this thing is clean, but I was told it should get a better cleaning. I don't even think much has ran through this. You can see all this oil and stuff here. Yeah, it's been used, and I don't like the cork, I gotta say. Not big on cork. Gets water, or I mean oil and gas logged, and then it doesn't work so well. So, gonna have to order a kit anyways, just because. Or, gee, the rest of this looks okay. So I may just have to order a float. So I think until I get a few parts, I'm gonna throw it back together, and we'll go from there. So let me just chuck a few things back together here. I'm not even gonna clean anything, and well, we know I need a few parts, especially I just not big fan of cork. I do like the brass ones, but they sometimes do spring leaks. But I like the plastic ones. They last for a long time. And those are the ones I'm hoping to get. So let me get her back together. Well, I got her back together, loosely fit. And yeah, she all seems to work. But yeah, gonna need a float. A few other things. This gasket isn't nearly as good as I thought it was. That is getting pretty hard and brittle. So I'll have to get a new one. So next time you see it, I'll have a gasket kit and a float. And we'll get on to that. Well, getting back to this carburetor here off of the 6 horsepower Johnson. I got it all taken apart again like I did in the first part of the video. And I got my kit now from, well, it is an Amazon kit, but all I really want is the float out of it. I might use a few other parts in it, but it's, there's the number of this kit. I'm hoping it's a good kit. It seemed to be, when I ordered it, to be a pretty good kit for this carburetor. So let's just dump everything out here and see what we got. So there's the float. That's nice. There is the seal. A couple other little seals. And we got a couple of these. There's the needle and seat. Okay. Okay, so that's not bad. We got this stuff. Now, here's the thing. Let me show you. I did take that little piece off. I just drilled a hole through it and then popped it off. Cleaned out all in there, so that's all cleaned out in there. I have not sprayed anything else yet, but I think I'm going to right now. And nope, that doesn't go through. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Everything's pretty clean in here. So, pretty clean. Actually, I can see a bit of dirtiness coming out of here. So, everything seems to be doing pretty good and getting cleaned up. So, we're just going to leave that for now. What are the stuff I have here? Well, float, this. Perfect. We do have some good pieces here that I'll be able to use, actually. Little seals and stuff. So I will be using it. I'm pretty sure this kit is for like a bunch of different types of, what do you call it, carburetors. Let's take that off. Get the bowl cleaned out. Is there a seal on here? Yes, there is. So I'll change that seal too. Let's move this over here. That's pretty dirty. That is pretty dirty. What do I got here? That is way too big, but I'll use it anyways. And let's give her a spray. Oh, that stuff actually came off. Okay, I'll leave that there for now. I still see a bit in this back corner here I don't like, so I'm going to get that. Looks like, I don't know, dirty gas sat in it for a while, I think. So, yeah. There we go. Gonna leave that alone. All right. Now, I'm gonna want to put this back in up here. It's not that one. Is it this one? Yes, I think it is. And I gotta go find a socket that'll fit that, so I can give her a little wrap and get her stuck in there perfectly. So I gotta go grab a small socket and get that done. Actually, let me do this bolt here. This is just a throttle body cleaner I'm using on here. So there's that seal. We'll let that stay there. And yes, I think I will go grab a socket for that, and then I can get that put back in there. So I've got the socket. This one was too big. I was going to use it. I grabbed this one, and there we go. Pretty sure she's done. Oh yes, that's in there beautifully. Nice. Let me just give her a spray around there. Get her all nice and cleaned off. That went in beautifully. Oh. Okay, that makes me happy. Doesn't take much to make me happy. Just a few things that go right. You know. So that, okay. So all this goes on here. So we're going to put that back on here right now. That's to drain the carburetor. So a new seal on carburetor drain. There we go. Nice and snug, not too tight. And let me give this a spray through here. It is pretty freed up, it looks. There we go. And everything looks good here. Yeah, everything's clear there. I just blew on it, that's all. And that's gonna go on there. Where's the screwdriver? go. And I believe that this goes on there. Slightly doesn't fit, but I'm sure it will. All right. Well, let's deal with the needle and seat. So, there was no seal along. Oh, yes, there was. There was a seal along there, so I gotta put a seal. There we go, on here. And will this work? I don't know. Will I have to use the old needle or I don't know. Oops, see, that little plastic dongle or rubber fell off already. That isn't working. So we're not going to use that one. The other one's still fine. I don't know why it won't work. Oh, I see. Okay, they are different. One is longer than the other. Typical in the difference. Let me just clean this one out then. Get this little plastic dealy off of that one. And we're going to reuse this. Now, I don't know if I'll check to see if these two are the same. That's nice and tight. The needle. So they are the same. So that's nice. And I just got to get this little spring on here. I thought I dropped it. I couldn't see it. I thought I dropped it. I'm gonna take my glasses off for this. There we go. She's on there. Okay. Thought it was gone. I did. Put that back on there. And okay. Now, let me see here. Actually, I gotta see if this is the right one. Yes, it looks like it is. How? Well. Don't worry about me. I'm just trying to figure out how to hook on the needle. I'll get her. Don't you worry. I'll get her. Well, I'm not going to lie. I dropped a lot of stuff off of this thing. I messed up. So I got to re-put in, my word. Turned it upside down. Didn't have things in right. I kind of messed it up. But it's fine. I'm taking care of it. Just got to put her back together here. Boy. Things happen, when I get doing things with carburetors and stuff. Oh, you can go in there. There you go. Okay, I think I got her. There we go. Got the needle and seat in right. I gotta put this little rubber back on there. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. Now, should I use the original or the replacement? It's a hard choice. Let me wipe off the original. I think it's still good enough to use. So I think I'm going to use it because the Chinese remake, I don't know if it's going to last as long as the original. Still looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to go with it. Yeah, I think it goes this way. Here we go. Let me just see here what I got left. And what else I gotta get or do here? I don't want that one. That one's off. That one. This is good. That's good. All right. Yeah, I think that's good. And got the little rubber O-ring there. So I think that's good. Everything seems pretty good. I just got to tighten her back up. Now, you don't have to go ape strength on these little screws. Pretty well just snug them. At least that's what I've been told. And hopefully that will be enough. So I'm not going to put many pounds of pressure on here. It's just going to be snug. There we go. Let's give her a little turn. Little turn. Until I feel like it's just tight enough. And little turn. Little turn. Okay, I think we're going to leave her at that. That works just fine. We still have this, don't we? Yes, we do. And it has one of those and one of these. So one of these on there. Thinking maybe I'll clean off the needle very well here. Get her cleaned off. Good old cleaner. There we go. So one of these, and it was one of these. Which one can I find here that looks better than the rest? And I can just spin this on a bit. See, that was supposed to go. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That is fine. Because that's going to go across like that. Yes. There we go. This is going to go on here. Going to get that in there. Now I just got to get that in there. Don't want to go when it don't want to go, right? They didn't give another, nope. All right, I think I'm gonna have to do this a little differently, I think. I'm gonna have to put it in there first. We'll have to see. So, I had to put down one of these cork washers and one of these plastics down, and I did, and I used my little hook to actually push it down there. So I think that's what I had to do first to get this in. So, and then I gotta take this, put it in, and yeah, get her all the way in there, hopefully. And I'm just gonna go until she seats all the way. It is going, by the way. It just takes a long time to get screwed in there. There we go. She's seated. I'm going to take this, put it at the top position, which is where I wanted to start before. Give that a little tighten for now, so it won't back out. And yeah, then it was 1 1/4 turns back. So that is where I pretty well won her when I put her back on. 1 1/4 turns. So that is together now. Look at all these extra parts. What is this thing for? But there you go. Carburetor's put back together. It's put back together pretty right. Hopefully you're able to hear me through all that because my mic was so far away. And hopefully you were able to hear all of that. If not, I'll have to adjust the volume. I forgot where I set my mic down. But there we go. It is all back together. I'm just going to recheck the bolts or screws on the bottom. Just see if they're just snug perfectly. Yeah, that one's. See, some of these are a little loose now because I went all the way around. So I'm just snugging them up a little bit more. And there we go. That is all done. That carburetor is all ready. And when I put her back on, I got to use the proper, which is this one, gasket to put against the motor. So there we go. Can't wait to get this back on the 6-horse. And yeah, pretty simple job to rebuild a car. You just got to remember where everything is set, and hopefully you'll have it all in the right spot when you put her back together. So I think the only difference between a 6 and a 9 or a 6 and an 8 or whatever was the size of the carburetor. If I wanted to turn that into an 8-horse or whatever, or 9-horse, I would just use the bigger carburetor, which I think I could order off online and get the bigger carburetor. So, but I'm in no need to do that. I don't mind the 6-horse. Maybe later when I want to fool around, I'll order up a bigger carburetor and we'll stick around there and we'll see how much faster it would be with the bigger carburetor. But thanks for watching. That is me installing some of the parts from this kit that I got off of Amazon. I did not use this just doesn't feel, it feels pretty flimsy. I didn't want to use that, so I used the old gasket here, which seemed to be still so fine and still better than that Chinese piece there. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll try to get that motor running on the next episode.